Hi bakers, so today I want to clear up a common confusion I've seen online, the difference between a sponge cake and a Black Forest cake. So I recently posted this question on my Facebook page and I was just trying to see what bakers are currently struggling with, and a lot of bakers commented there. Now this question particularly caught my eye from this lady, and no hate at all for her. This lovely lady posted this, and actually what I did is I asked her, are you struggling with a sponge cake or the Black Forest? And she wrote this. She wrote the baking of sponge cake, especially a Black Forest. And I wanted to clarify, a sponge cake and Black Forest are not the same thing. So just to start with a sponge cake is a type of cake made in a certain way, right? There's different types of cakes like butter cakes or creamed cakes. And then there's sponge cakes that are made with like the whisking method. Most of them use eggs as a raising agent. Most of them don't even have baking powder. And so a sponge cake is a specific type of cake. So if you're struggling with a sponge cake, this would be either choosing to make a biscuit or a chiffon cake or a genoise or something like an angel food cake. So first and foremost, if you want to make a Black Forest, you have to realize you have to perfect making a sponge cake, which is the base of a Black Forest. So that's the cake by itself. Now, when it comes to a Black Forest, this is a Black Forest or a version of a Black Forest. A Black Forest is a dessert. So you use the sponge cake as the base to make a Black Forest, right? So when we say Black Forest, we're not talking about just the cake. We're talking about the complete dessert. So a Black Forest is basically a sponge cake base where you add syrup if it's non-alcoholic or Kirsch liquor onto that sponge cake. Then you fill it with cherry filling and whipped cream. Then decorate the outside with whipped cream frosting as well and shavings, and then decorate that or garnish that with cherries. So to be clear, you want to assemble a Black Forest with a sponge cake. So these are two separate terms. A sponge cake is the cake base or a cake, and then a Black Forest is a dessert made with sponge cake. You can actually make and decorate a sponge cake and it not be a Black Forest, right? So you just have to know the difference, that a sponge cake is a type of cake that can be used to assemble a type of dessert. It can be a Black Forest or something else. So remember, not every sponge cake is a Black Forest. However, every Black Forest needs a sponge cake to be made from it. And remember, because Black Forest is Black Forest, you have to use a chocolate sponge. So you can use a chocolate sponge that's genoise, chocolate sponge that's a biscuit, chocolate sponge that's a chiffon cake, or a chocolate sponge that's an angel food cake, right? The point is the base should be a sponge cake. I hope this has helped clear up some of that mix-up.